Right, anyway, cool. So here's what we're going to cover in this presentation. My name's Ollie. I'm one of the partner managers, and this is not my bodyguard. This is Jack. Jack, say hi.
Hi guys, I'm Jack. I'm Ollie's counterpart, partner manager, logistics and agency partnerships here.
Brilliant, cool. So yeah, we're going to do something a little bit different to what we usually do, and seeing as we're in a room of agencies, we're going to mainly focus on that middle section there, but really I just want to go a little bit over like who we are and why our tech helps your clients. But what we really want to get stuck into in today's sesh is how we partner. So those key areas are how we give referrals back to our partners, how we support those agency events that you guys love to host, how we activate your content to our network and beyond, so how we promote agencies, but then also how we pay quite nicely as well, and how it can be, one of our solutions can be an offering for you guys too. And then at the end, we've got a huge new exciting update, which I hope you're still awake for. Cool. So let me quickly go into our two different solutions. So first of all, on the left-hand side, we've got Brightpearl. It's been around for a while. We've been updating the system. It's a back office ERP system. So when you start off as a brand and you have a fairly linear structure where you have, say, nowadays you might have a website with one warehouse, for example, then there's probably not a need for an ERP in the back office. But when you start becoming more complex as a brand, so you start selling on different marketplaces, or you start entering some brave new frontiers of a physical store, or you're selling in different countries, and then you're going to start having orders coming in from lots of different places, and you're going to need to manage those orders in one place. And then also you're going to have stock in lots of different places as well, and you want to be able to manage that in one central hub. So that's what Brightpearl is. It's essentially an ERP for the kinds of brands that we all work with. Why it's important for agencies is because like this can a bad back office experience can ruin the entire customer journey. So if you've got a new customer to that website and they've made that purchase, but that product has never showed up, or the wrong product showed up, or the order didn't arrive on time, or any of those kind of messy back office experiences, that's going to hinder all of the work that you're doing and skew all of those metrics as well. And then Inventory Planner. This one it's a module of Brightpearl, but it can be used as a standalone solution, plugged into any tech stack, and that is a platform to buy the right amount of stock. So a lot of your clients will be making stock purchasing decisions on things that aren't really fit for purpose. We see all sorts of like manual ways of doing things. You know, spreadsheets, 2 different screens, one with their supplier and one with what stock they've got in, and they're just eyeballing it. This is just getting it into a really nice, easy-to-use platform, so it means you can do some really intelligent forecasting with your clients, but then your clients using it themselves, because it kind of solves 2 issues, really. So I don't know, like, it doesn't really matter how good you are at, I don't know, CRO or SEO or any of the O's. Basically, if your product isn't in stock, if the client's product's not in stock, they're not going to be able to make that purchase. And also, on the other side of that, if we're looking at overstock, if your client has bought loads of like the slow-moving stock and the wrong stock, then they're going to have overstock, too much unnecessary stock, right? And that's really terrible for cash flow. And in these times, like clients can't really afford to be making those decisions. And you guys don't want to be having those conversations with your clients either when you're saying, oh, look, we're trying to sell them these additional services, but they're having an absolute shocker in their stock room where they've still got loads of, I don't know, still got loads of summer clothes to be getting through, and we're halfway through summer at the minute. Cool, so there's the two different platforms, and it really a lot of it comes down to these businesses having lots of manual processes in the back office that's really going to be slowing down growth, which is the opposite of what we're all trying to do for these clients. Nice. Just want to jump into some quick stats here just to show like that these clients aren't really alone, and a lot of people are feeling the pain. So yeah, that top one is talking about how the days of inventory outstanding. So that's basically just how much inventory they're holding. They're holding that inventory for the longest time, so an all-time high of 168 days. I've mentioned overstock already. A lot of brands have 105,000 on average, 105,000 pounds worth of overstock. So would we like, as agencies, would we like some of that cash? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, I can see some nodding. We wouldn't mind it. We wouldn't mind a bit of that budget. Also, this is one of the top priorities for fashion apparel execs. They're looking to kind of optimize that inventory level. And then finally as well, this is more of a one for Bright Pearl, which is all around having your back office in check, which is that 77% of negative reviews that get left are based on operational issues rather than the products themselves. So these things can really hold back you working with the client to make them grow. Sweet. Now, I don't really want to enter into full kind of partner enablement mode. That can happen at any other time. I'm ready to go. But these are some of like the key things are kind of what signals one should look out for, whether it's kind of the operational pain, so that's those manual processes in the back office really slowing things down, but then they're having those operational pain because they're experiencing growth, they're becoming more complex as a brand, and then some really straightforward ones to spot as well. It'd be really cool to chat to some of you about some of the inventory challenges that we see. You know, like we've all seen bestsellers out of stock. We've all seen giant sales happening at strange times on websites when you just think, this just looks bad. Like you've got so many things on sale right now, or you've got nothing in stock, or you've got a bit of a combination of the two. It's not great for the brand. And then also just that final one, which is kind of like the most kind of formal, which is like the reporting side of this. Like we're actually able to run the diagnostics on what channels are performing best and things like that. And reporting is a huge thing that the clients all care about as they grow. Now, that's kind of coming to the end of that section around what our tech does, and hopefully you can see some of the things that are relevant for your clients and our technology. But what we want to talk about is the bit that me and Jack get really excited about on a daily basis, to be honest, which is how we partner with agencies. Agencies they're like the beating heart of our partner ecosystem, right? And so we subscribe to this kind of near-bound philosophy. Has anybody heard of near-bound sales before in the room? Is that great? Okay, fantastic. Yeah, cool. So for anyone who's like, what's near-bound? It's essentially just referrals from trusted sources. So in this instance, that client that you work with, they trust you, right? So they're going to listen to whatever suggestions you make. And likewise, with a Bright Pearl customer, brands don't like to change their ERP very long. People stay with us for 10 years sometimes. So we get a really close relationship with them, and they come towards us when they're looking for, when they're having some trouble, when they're going through data, or if they're going through like a digital transformation and things like that. And that's when we need our closest, trusted agency partners that we can put them in front of in order to kind of become a co-solution. Yeah, and working together, which is like led us to create this partner manifesto. We did this actually. This was an idea sparked from some conversations I had with Nathan at Quickfire. I know he's part of the community. And what we wanted to do with this is just to make sure that we were clear on how we wanted to make sure we were all aligned on kind of the ICP, like helping those same customers with a really strong joint value proposition. But then what it all is it's about just kind of alignment through like a stick of rock. Aligning on those ideal clients, aligning on like what we both want to get out of the partnership, and being as honest as possible and setting those goals. That's how we find is really fertile ground for an agency partnership. Great. So, yeah, I'm going to hand over to Jack now.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to run you through quickly how we work with partners, right? How we work with them, how it's valuable for partners to work with us. I'm here about a year and a bit, so I came in with a bit of a fresh view on, how can you make it mutually beneficial for agencies in the room, right? So we came in and we have an opportunity, right? When we speak with brands, ERP, inventory planner, whatever that is, generally they're at a point of change, right? So when they're coming in speaking to our sales team, it's more so what we're doing is important, right? But there's more stuff that's going on. If that's a migration, if it's a new website, all of these things happen at the same time, right? Therefore, it makes sense for us then, a digital transformation, if you will, without using buzzwords, right? But therefore, it makes more sense then for us to kind of work with partners then who will specialize in those migrations, different intricacies like Shopify POS, right? Because it makes sense. They'll have the kind of expertise in around the back office operations, but more importantly as well, we can work alongside a partner whilst we do that, right? So when we have these brands that come into us, we have a partner that we can lean on straight away. For a real life example, we have an agency partner over in Finland who's about to land their biggest client at the moment, and they actually referred them over to us after a few referrals over their way. But the trust is built. It's like that nearbound piece, right? It's the trust is there, and the buy-in has to be from our sales team and our account management team about the partners that we're working with, vice versa with us coming in speaking with your account managers as well, right? But that partner over in Finland has brought in a potential new biggest client for themselves for an ERP, and we're trying to do that together. We're working together. We're both trying to win the deal together, right? So that's the first part, right, is the agency referrals. And I don't know about with agencies in the room if that's the most important thing you want to get out of. Obviously, the product is important, but from a mutually beneficial piece, right, you want to be able to give something back. And, yeah, that's kind of just what I've gathered since prior to starting here. Aside from that then, yeah, so at a high level then, these are the events that we sponsored this year. We've also sponsored Alan's Digital Clubhouse as well. But this is the next step then. You do these events, you show support, you support the community as well, but it's also a process as well of getting used to and understanding how each other works. What do we do? When is the right time to refer these things across as well, right? Yeah, and then just an example here as well. So Cubics, a partner up in Birmingham, if any of you are familiar. We introduced them to a client, same process by which that Finnish partner is speaking with us. They landed the client, we landed the client. We had a mutual client, and we set up a webinar then with the brand partner, with Cubics and ourselves, and we promoted that as well. So again, it's just all trying to keep it all within the family, as they say, right? Yeah, and then finally for that as well, revenue share then with us. 10% for events, and then with the revenue and co-sell, again, just drilling home what I'm kind of saying as well, it's all just about both teams buying into one another, right? Normally it's the tech team trying to buy into the agency, but it has to be both sides, right? So we try and bring our agency partners down, get to know our team as well, so that we all can get these projects over the line together, right? And that's what co-selling will mean. You can refer things in, but it's a process then, right? Yeah. And then finally, what Ollie was kind of mentioning earlier for us, similar to what the kind of email area platforms will do as well, we're starting to bring in a new managed service as well. So this is, again, just a new offering for agencies as well, from a forecasting and purchasing feature. It's just an opportunity for agencies to work closer. First of all, add on an implementation fee that they can take off of us and make extra money, but then also become more sticky with their clients to actively be managing that. Especially if you have that growth wing within the agency as well, you're focusing on that granular piece of what products are selling the best. So you probably are the best person to be managing that process as well. But myself and Ollie's emails are there. I won't hold you too long because I know there's a bit of food there. But thanks very much for your time.